What up, people? Welcome to the Push Wild Black Show. I'm your host, Christian. This is the second attempt in trying to record this. First attempt was good, but something happened in the background that I had to fix. Anyway, Bulls lose, surprisingly. We'll get into that in a second. 105-98 by the Knicks. I did not know that this was going to be the Knicks' first win of the season. Didn't really watch them that much. Was hearing things about RJ Barrett. Was hearing good things about RJ Barrett. From what I saw today, RJ Barrett's going to be fine, and the Knicks are going to be fine. The Knicks they're young, and they did a whole bunch of early in the first quarter because they couldn't score in the first quarter. The Bulls jumped out to a 33-15 lead in the first quarter, and they couldn't score, but they hung around. You know how you watch a game and you go, okay, this is a lead, but this isn't safe, and you're watching the game and you're like, you're gonna mess around and lose this game because they're playing with their opponent. It's like I watched the game and I'm like, okay, because the 18-point lead happened, and I'm like, all right, this is a winnable game. Matter of fact, I said a couple of nights ago that this is a winnable game. New York is a winnable game, because after the Toronto game, I was just like, man, this is rough. But it was and the cast was real short because there really wasn't nothing to talk about, because it was like the Bulls got outplayed and Toronto's like the division champs. So I was like, yeah, this is one of them games where you just watch the film for a little bit, then you burn it and you move on to the next one. So in my head, I'm like, okay, it would be cool to see RJ Barrett because I was hearing things about him and wanted to see how good he was playing. But Bulls got this game. And in the first quarter, after watching the first quarter and how the Knicks couldn't score really well, the Bulls were shooting better and moving the ball better and handling New York, because it wasn't necessarily like defended well. They were rebounding well too off of those misses. I was like, okay, Bulls might get this one. And then it was 20, and then it was, okay, the Knicks are hanging around. The Knicks got it to 10. The Knicks are hanging around. But the Bulls are keeping them at bay. And they just keep plugging away. Bulls keep keeping them at bay. Then you got to like 5 points. And I was like, okay, I think it was 5-7. And I said out loud, I was like, okay, call the timeout, Jim. And he waited one more possession and scored again. And it was, I think it was 5. And they dropped it down to 3. And Boylan calls that timeout. And then it was the Knicks tie the game. Then the Knicks go on a run. And the Bulls come back. And they tie. They go on an 8-0 run. Then, with about 3 minutes left, 3 minutes, 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter, they completely forget how to score. And they forget how to guard. They're going to have problems defending the perimeter still. Like, there were people getting wide open. Bobby Portis, former Bull, had 28 and 11 off the bench. Knox had 14 points off the bench. Morris had 10. RJ Barrett had 19. Randall had 13. Randall had 14 rebounds. Barrett had 15 rebounds. They out-rebounded the Bulls. Let's see. 15. They out-rebounded the Bulls. Let's see here as I self-produce. They out-rebounded the Bulls Where is the rebound? That was weird. 63 to 38. Like, really? 63 to 38. Julius Randle was everywhere. RJ Barrett was everywhere. They're good. It was ridiculous. Even though Wendell Carter had the best game of the year of the season so far with a double-double, they on the glass they just couldn't do anything. And in the fourth quarter, it was people were getting baskets, they were getting looks, but it was just like they couldn't close. Zach tries, man, to go to the lane, and he tries to close. I don't see it. I don't see him being a closer, man. There were moments in the fourth quarter where he went to the lane and he was missing shots and he wasn't getting fouled. And there were games this season where he was trying to go to the lane and he wasn't getting fouled and he wasn't getting calls. And it was just like, who's going to be that dude that's going to take over the game for them when they need a basket? Because they didn't have one. So, whereas with the Knicks, they gave the ball to Julius Randle and RJ Barrett and Knox. So they had three guys that they can go to, and they were able to, RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. Julius Randle set up their offense and made sure that RJ Barrett was able to get in good spots and take it to the lane. Bulls don't have that yet. Zach tries to, Marketing does it in not really at the end of games, but Marketing has flashes, but it's like, and then Kobe, he's a rookie, so he can come off the bench and be instant offense, but they really didn't use him that much. They haven't used him in a lot of games. So it's like we're still kind of allowing Zach to figure out how to be a closer yet, and it hasn't worked for 2 games. So I don't know. What this has showed me is this is not a playoff team. The beginning of the season, the Bulls had said, this is a playoff team. The goal is to go to the playoffs. This ain't a playoff team. Could they challenge for a playoff spot? I don't know, because there were games. The Charlotte game, you could have won. The Charlotte game, you could have won. This game, you could have won. So you could be 2-2 instead of 1-3. You won the Memphis game. So you're going up against, I believe, let me check my second screen here. I believe their next opponent is Cleveland. Yeah, their next opponent is Wednesday against Cleveland. Cleveland is not going to be, because they're trying to be Portland East. They're trying to run, they're going to try to do the same thing Portland's doing, having 2 scoring guards, point guards, in the backcourt. That's not a walk in the park. So, especially how this team defends. And they still don't know how to handle the 3 as far as defending the 3. So, this is not a walk in the park. To me, to be in the playoffs, to be in a playoff hunt, you have to win 40 games. They might win 30 games this year. And you lost 2 games that you should have won. So, anyway, I'm not having a very good couple of days as far as Chicago teams figuring out how to win games. The Bears pissed away a game, and the Bulls pissed away a game today. So, anyway, we will continue to truck on. See you guys Wednesday. Later, people.